It was for reading goal. Oh, good.
Yeah, he meant
Yeah,
reading
you
goal.
did.
Oh, you're in high school, so you're the
That's a lot of
guy.
weight.
I'm not high school.
So they.
But yeah, we're.
Take for what?
If they met 100. So if you're gonna be taped to a wall, I have some suggestions, because when we took the.
Yeah.
Oh, we call this March board meeting to order. I am actually the vice president, so I'm taking over today. So bear with me. This is going to be a really great time for the full room. I would like to welcome everybody to our March meeting. And if you are willing and able, please stand for our pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
I would first like to adopt the agenda.
Okay. Madam Vice President, I would like to request that we move item number 10 on the agenda, both 10A and B, which are under business and finance, to up under item number 7. So it will become the new 8. 8 will become the new 9, 9 will become the new 10, etc. If you will.
To adopt the agenda with the correction.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda with the correction. I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have our call to public, and I'm gonna read a really long sheet here. This is in regards to the call to the public. I have one sheet on here. You will be on a time limit. That's how it goes. All regular and special board meetings of the board shall be open to the public. The board invites the viewpoints of citizens throughout the district and considers the responsible presentation of these viewpoints vital to the efficient operation of the district. The board also recognizes its responsibility for the proper governance of the schools and therefore the need to conduct its business in an orderly and efficient manner. The board therefore establishes the following procedures to receive input from citizens of the district. Any individual desiring to address the board shall complete a form and give this form to our superintendent or our secretary superintendent. The board president shall be responsible for recognizing speakers, maintaining proper order, and adhering to any time limit set. Questions requiring investigation shall be referred to the superintendent for a later report to the board. Questions or comments on matters that are currently under legal review will not receive a response. When considered necessary, the president shall set a time on the length of the comment period. In order to ensure that each individual has an opportunity to address the board, the president may also set a time limit for individual speakers. Personal attacks upon board members, staff, personnel, or other persons in attendance or absent by individuals who address the board are discouraged. Policies are provided by the board for deposition of legitimate complaints, including those involving individuals. Upon conclusion of the open call to the public, individual members of the board may respond to any criticism made by an individual who has addressed the board. Presentation for unsolicited services will not be permitted. Companies or businesses offering services of possible interest in the district should send information to the district office to appropriate school district officials. The superintendent shall ensure that a copy of this policy is posted at the entrance of the boardroom and an adequate supply of forms is available. Okay, with that said, you will be on a 3-minute timer, and it looks like Tiffany.
DeRocher.
Yep. Do I have any others? Okay, so you will have, thank you for coming, you will have 3 minutes. Okay?
My name is Tiffany DeRocher. I'm a parent of Daniel and Ruby DeRocher, students of Chino Unified School District. I stand before you today to discuss the following concerns: student safety, communication, and integrity. I would like to begin with student safety. Student safety regarding transportation has created issues for parents and students. A few issues are parents removing students from using the transportation provided, accusations made regarding substance abuse involving bus driver, students removed from in-person learning to online or homeschooling because of the safety lacking regarding the transportation of their student to and from school. Communications. Parents, school, and transportation communications for the well-being and safety of Chino Valley Unified School District students. Alterations made for bus routes should be communicated by email and/or full contact with parent or guardian. One cannot assume a voicemail to be a sufficient form of communication. It's incidents that pose a potential threat to the student's immediate safety should be brought to the parents of whose children or child was involved. Communication between the school and transportation department for the whereabouts of each student at any time they are present on the bus. Integrity. 5 values of integrity and how they correlate to the issues regarding Chino Valley Unified School District transportation. Honesty. Informing parents of whose children are involved in incidents regardless of the incident. Trust. The ability to trust the decisions made on safety are based on our children's welfare, and safety initiatives are taken with common sense, not unsafe decisions based off arbitrary reasons. Fairness. The transportation management should maintain good working conditions and safety processes in reporting safety concerns, including forms for reporting stop sign violators. Respecting concerned parents in regards to lack of communication and safety of children's welfare. Responsibility. To take action in prevention in regarding to parents of students who are involved in incidents compromising Chino Valley Unified School District student welfare. At this time, I'd like to thank the board members for taking the time to hear my concerns pertaining to the safety and well-being of our community's children regarding before and after school transportation.
Thank you, Tiffany. We can look into this further and have somebody reach out to you. We cannot communicate.
I understand.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along.
Sorry.
Information and discussion items.
Is, we have a Yavapai County Spelling Bee champion, and I would like to have Ms. McGill come on up. And she's going to introduce our county spelling bee champion. And I want to say that this is a really, really big deal because we have not had a county spelling bee winner in the district ever, as far as I know. And this is the first time in 15 or 20 years that a public school student has actually won the county spelling bee. It's typically been won by homeschoolers. So we have a lot to cheer for.
So first, I'd like to say that last year she competed in our spelling bee and took it at district level and then went to the county competition. This year, same thing, and this year you won the Yavapai County Spelling Bee, and I would like to present you with this.
Who is she?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rebecca Calkins. I'm sorry, I just know my student. I'm sorry, Rebecca Calkins here, and 8th grader.
And proud
And-
mom in the back is who?
Our beloved teacher, Miss Calkins, high school. So, board members, I'd like you present and help me cheer on Miss Calkins. So, congratulations. I'd like to give you a clap. Yes,
What
please.
else
I want
did
to get
she
a
get?
picture. And I haven't opened it, but she gets a check.
Congratulations, we're so proud. She's
who's
so
taking it?
embarrassed, we're so sorry. Good job.
It's okay, we all feel like that.
I would like a picture, please. Yes.
All the pictures in the room, please, yes. Everybody
Here,
crowd
I'll stand
around
next. Mom, do you want to be part of it? No? Oh.
Audience response.
There you go.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good job, Rebecca.
Another picture?
One more picture.
When is the state bee?
When is, I don't know.
Oh, March 15th, so next week.
Oh, 5 days.
Rebecca, I'll take pictures.
Oh, you make it.
Get the three of us.
Oh, yeah, get
Do
more
we end it?
pictures.
Oh, I can do cards.
I'll get all the pictures.
All right.
Thanks, everyone, for
Yay.
your patience.
Good luck at the state bee.
Her name is also proudly on our marquee.
It is on our marquee. So, Miss McGill?
Yes. All right, I can go on to the next thing now. If you can. Oh, I do. So it is my month to present Heritage Middle School, but I say this with love for myself. You don't need to hear from me. I would like you guys to have to listen to the students present. So they're going to give you an update on the extracurricular activities we have at HMS and some of the sports as well. I like to start with JJ. Come on up. I'll stand next to you the whole time. Very nervous. Next slide, please.
Hi, my name is John Garden, and I'm in HTN. HTN is a club where we film the news for HMS. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You learn skills like scripting, filming, acting, and many more skills that you would need in real life, especially if you're a YouTuber like me. We comfort our news reporters and making the news fun. We put our effort in the filming and editing. For example, for today's news, I looked like Mario because March 10th book written on the calendar looks like Mario. Anyways, we put tongue twisters in the news too, just for fun. We also make sure that the people at the school district like our news. Most people do it. I'm saying most because some people think we're annoying, but they're wrong. If you're wondering where these come from, these are from my beloved mom, Leanne Garten. I'm John Garden, representing HCN. Thank you for letting me be here and talk about our club.
All right, so there you go. If you could keep going through for me. There she is doing the news. There, keep going, it's all right. Okay, art club. Yeah. Come on. All right.
Hello.
There's a few art club pictures.
Hello, my name is Randy Ahi. I'm here to represent Heritage Middle School Art Club. Art Club provides an opportunity for students to come together in a community outside of the classroom setting to engage in conversation on different ideas happening. Art Club, when you are stressed out, you can turn to Art Club to calm you down. I can also do a project in art, finish it in art club, bring it home and show my family my amazing art, and they'll be so impressed. Thank you for letting me speak about my amazing club. And then I want to shout out my teacher, Miss Shivi. She's all the way in the back with the pink hair.
And then you can see art as well. Quilting, Nora here, come on up. Quilting Club is a new club that you guys just approved for this year. So this has only been in effect for a month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm Nora Monroe. I'm the president of Quilting Club at Heritage Middle School. This is just something that we make. We learn how to sew, and thanks to like rethread machines is another thing we do. We learn how to sew with seams, and we just have a really great time. And I'm really thankful for all of the people who help us, and they're amazing instructors. And I'm really happy that you guys approved this.
What would you say is something that you would use outside of school from the skills you've learned?
I constantly ask my mom if we can sew at home, but we typically don't. I kind of wish we did, but we don't. But I can tell people about quilting because sometimes ask how I do it, and I can tell them. So it's very fun to be able to express my interest in this. So I joined with the hope of learning this, and that's exactly what I got out of it. So I'm really happy that you guys approved this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
archery. Is there two of you or just the one?
I don't know where Garrett is.
Oh, okay.
There's her and a bow, that's enough.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Brandon Gatlin. I am representing the archery club. Archery, I would say, is a sport where we can meet other kids with different skill levels. We often get to go to competitions out of school. Archery has helped me with multiple sports that I do. It has also helped me grow as a hunter. It has helped me learn the different components of a bow, the different drawback strength that I have, and it has overall given me something to go forward that I can express my stress in or my angers.
You want to show me your bow and arrow here?
Would you like to see my bow?
Yeah.
The number one rule in archery is to never point your weapon at a person.
Just point at the ceiling, that's better.
Great rule. Same with.
She's being very humble. She just went to the state competition this last weekend. And are you number 8 or something like that?
I believe so.
I've never held one in
Let's
my
see a
life.
demonstration.
Please hold it up. Hold it here. I'll hold this. I don't.
So where do you practice?
We normally practice at our archery range that is down by the little houses at our school. We typically don't use these arrows. Our arrows are a little bit better in use, and it's very safe for other students to use. This one is a typical, I would say, hunting arrow in my standards, but I highly doubt it's not.
I have a question. Does each person that is in it, do they have their own bow and arrow?
So the school provides bows for us, and there are left-handed and right-handed bows. If a student wishes to have their own bow, then they are more than allowed to bring it or to purchase their own. I don't know how to word this. We do provide some arrows. We are running a little bit low, but we are working on getting some more and some new targets along the way.
So Arizona Game and Fish was our partner several years ago that helped us in cooperation with Ben Avery, helped us to get the bows that we needed, the arrows that we needed, the targets, and training for our coaches.
All right.
So, all right. Thank you. My student bow rep. All right. Come on up, Mr. Weller.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you and share what Student Council has been doing. We participated in the Territorial Early Days Parade. HMS brought home the second place float trophy. It was a great achievement and amazing effort put in by everyone involved. We also started this year off with a fundraiser. We raised money and were able to give our highest achievers bikes, Stanley Cups, and gift cards. This was a successful year for us. We have had many successful dances this year. Our 80s dance was a big hit. Students were able to dance the night away in their brightest neon colors. We were looking forward to our Hawaiian Luan dance in April. We have introduced lunchtime activities. One of everyone's favorites was guessing the staff member based on their baby picture. Student Council is revving up to hold an assembly for the 8th graders, preparing them for the camping trip up and coming. We are super excited for what is planned. This has been one of the best years in Student Council. We look forward to many more events for our peers.
Thank you.
Excuse me. So to answer the unasked question, no, we are not allowed to fly them in here. That is our smallest and our largest drone. Like to turn it over to the girls now.
Hi, my name is Bailey Bell. I'm 12 years old and in 6th grade at Heritage Middle School. This is my first year in drone club with Mr. Lynch. Out of all the different clubs, I decided to choose drone club. I decided to choose drone club because I believed it was a great opportunity to work and learn with technology and machines. This is something that I have hopes of working with in the future and possibly going into the Air Force after high school. Up until this point, my life has revolved around 4-H career and livestock breeding and showing. Also, one of the things that has given me the courage to be here today. This year has given me chances to do something different, and I really love going to school to be in Mr. Lynch's advisory class, computer science class, and drone club. This is the only opportunity for me to actually be able to work with actually flying such a cool machine such as a drone. They are very expensive, and we could not otherwise afford one as a one-income family. I look forward to all the things I learn and do, and believe being a young lady working with technology is amazing. Just like young women who shaped the world during World War II, who went to work, and Amelia Earhart, who bravely proved that women could also fly, not just men. I am thankful that Mr. Lynch is my teacher, and a teacher that believes in me. The world needs more Rosie the Riveters who also want to pave the way and prove women can do anything. Thank you so much for your time.
You're okay. You're here. I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is CJ and I'm representing Drone Club at HTN, not
HMS.
I'm sorry,
It's okay.
at Heritage Middle School. I find that Drone Club is a marvelous way to learn how to fly, code, and have a blast with drones. Learning how to fly drones can help in later life as well, both in jobs or entertainment purposes. For example, the jobs that you can get with the knowledge of flying a drone are a real estate photographer by flying a drone through the house for showings, construction and land, surveying, mapping, drone technician, and for the military by being a tactical unmanned aircraft system operator. There are 2 different types of licenses you can get: a trust license and a commercial license. A trust license is a recreational purpose only, meaning you cannot fly over people or ask for money for the pictures or videos you take. A commercial license means you can fly over people and ask for money for the pictures and videos you take. But with the knowledge of flying a drone also comes responsibility. You can learn responsibility here by having to take care of these expensive drones and making sure they aren't damaged. You have to watch where they go, and if you crash, you have to speak up about it. Drone Club is also an excellent way of making friends and finding out more about each other as you grow and fly together. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
You can grab the drones, CJ. Thank you.
Good job, girls. Good job. Yeah. I think we have a couple more. NJ, oh, they're coming. Just one slide.
Hi, I'm Anthony, and this is Miss Rock. We're both 8th graders, and this is my 2nd year in NJHS, and this is my 1st year. NJHS is a wonderful club by far. It has taught me so many things about public speaking and being confident with myself and teaching others. It has also taught me loads of responsibility and time management skills. It's definitely taught me how to be a better person and how to be around people in a better way and be more kind to others. And it's allowed us to be more social with our peers and have more fun with other people. I would use the skills I learned from NJHS to go to competitions, not only for like public speaking, but for like banquets for my father's military and like speaking at national events as livestock shows and as 4-H members. you could use it, or I would use it in the future as being somebody maybe in a higher position in a job and being able to speak in front of people, which can be hard for a lot of people, but also using it to NGHS is an extremely welcoming club with many like-minded kids that help each other, build each other up, and just show us all these opportunities that we would not have like for ourselves, such as going to getting like better jobs and putting on your college resume, getting better colleges and scholarships, and also just opens a whole new world in the career. In our NGHS club, we have sent many thank you. We have made many thank you posters. We made thank you posters for our Veterans Day Assembly. And we've also sent a lot of thank you cards and Christmas cards to our teachers and staff. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate this is something you have to qualify for, or can anybody?
Yes. So to qualify, you need at least a 3.5 GPA or higher and maintain that throughout the year. And if you get, I'm pretty sure a couple people like 5 or more merits, you can get kicked out, and you have to have recommendations from like teachers.
Okay. All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Last but not least, wrestling. Did she come?
I don't think she's here.
Oh, she didn't come. No.
Do you want me to talk about it?
I mean,
I got 2 other wrestlers here. If you need.
Yeah, if our wrestlers that are here would stand up.
oh,
we
the
do
other
have some
wrestlers who are here.
Just go again.
It's all
Just
right.
stand up.
Just, I could talk for you. It doesn't matter.
Hey.
Okay, all right. Hi, just the one, we were just gonna showcase, we're gonna have our winner come up. So wrestling is one of our sports that we do. We went second
At
state.
Battle of the Belts in Prescott Valley at Finley Toyota Center, the girls' team won 2nd place overall.
So I just want to let you guys know some after-school sports that we have and give you an update. Any questions or anything? All right.
Thank you for coming. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome to go home with your several.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming. Okay, let's go on to our
Good evening, board and members of the public. Tonight, I wanted to highlight a few things in the superintendent's report. First of all, February was a really fun month because we got to recognize a lot of staff members during February. So we had employees of the quarter, Danielle Frederick, who's a first grade teacher at Territorial, and Morgan Best, who is a paraprofessional in our extended resource program. At Del Rio School, we recognized Cody Ashenbrenner, who's a 5th grade teacher, and Veronica Appman, who is a paraprofessional with our language learning students. At Heritage, we recognized Stacy Krug, a science teacher, and Kristen Siebert, the librarian, who is, by all accounts and what everybody tells me, just fabulous. And Julie Bias, our science teacher at the high school, Lucy Swope, who is our library aide. And here at the district office, we recognize Charlie Alsop, who is our purchasing agent and our procurement specialist. So we had a lot of fun. I want to remind the board and our viewing public that our awards for Employee of the Quarter are sponsored by Jed's Restaurant. So Donna from Jed's provides a goodie, a lunch gift certificate, a little gift in the bag for everybody who is a winner. So it's really fun. We get to go around and kind of prize patrol it. So it's a good morning. We also recognized our brand ambassadors. Those that's sponsored by Chino Valley Education Foundation, and we encourage employees to nominate someone who they believe best represents our brand. So they represent different parts of it, whether it's the providing safety for our students, whether it's they exemplify working together, or they exemplify preparing students for the future. So our brand ambassadors that we recognized were Debbie Golden, who is at Chino Valley High School and will be retiring this year. Dan Eisenberg, who a lot of you know as the voice of the Cougars, and Jim Eisenberg. They were all recognized for very different things. Their photos have been featured on the district social media and Chino Valley Education Foundation social media as well. I also wanted to let you know about our current enrollment. At Territorial, we have 589 students. Remember, not all of them are there all at the same time because our preschool students are there half a day. So when you look at that, you could see that Brandy has the second largest campus and is probably super glad they're not all there at once because it is really, really tight. At Del Rio, we have 481 students. Heritage has 467 and CVHS has 663. I also want to remind you that Del Rio and Heritage only have 3 grade levels each. Our other 2 campuses have 4 grade levels each. So for budgeting purposes, as a reminder, preschool students and kindergarten students only generate half funding. Arizona does not fund all-day kindergarten, but we provide all-day kindergarten free to our community. It's a great expense to the district, but we believe it's worthwhile to help students be better prepared for the challenges they'll face in first grade. So a couple other things. This month, you may have seen that the Arizona Auditor General released their district spending reports. I've included that report for you. Overall, we spend 66% of our budget in the classroom. We spend 10.9% on student transportation and food service. So that means about 77% of our overall budget goes directly to the classroom or to support students. Administrative costs are 11%, and our plant operations, so everything we need to run the buildings, from our electrical to maintenance, all those things cost 11.8%. Something that's notable is that when they release the spending reports, on average, charter schools spend 22% or greater on administrative costs. That's something that's always been under scrutiny because it is definitely lopsided for regular public school districts compared to charter schools that they're spending a very disproportionate amount on their administrative staff. So something, I gave you the full report for your reading pleasure. You're welcome to remove the report from your board book and take it home with you, or there's a link on the Auditor General's website. And I think we put a link up on our homepage as well to access the report. Also, Mrs. Massey prepared for you this wonderful giant list in case you think nothing ever goes on in the school district. She prepared this giant list for you to take of all the activities that happen between now and our next board meeting. So this is just 1 month's worth. And remember, we invite you to attend as many of the things as you would like to, drop in and see all the fun things that are going on. Also, make sure you're keeping up with our district social media page, Chino Valley Unified School District, because you can see all the different things that we highlight, students of the week, staff of the quarter, our brand ambassadors, and things going on each campuses. Today, we had the pleasure of having a tour at the Yavapai College CTEC facility with our partner institution, Mountain Institute CTED. And members Hilborn and Johnson were able to attend the tour today. And I didn't know if they had 1 or 2 quick things they wanted to say that made an impression on them today.
I mean, everything is so, I would wish more and more children could be involved in that. Come out with a certificate, be able to get a good job. And the things that they're learning is just amazing. You know, they're learning to build homes. They're learning how to fix cars, body and the inside of the car, welding. I can't even remember everything. But yeah, another thing was the technology that they're learning on. What was that called where they're doing those?
So the 3D printing?
Yeah, 3D printing. That was something too. But I was just amazed. And it was a long walk to go through everything, but it was worth it. I mean, I just was amazed.
I'm gonna piggyback on everything that Marcia said. Also, I have to say, there was a lovely lady in here talking today about the drone club. And just seeing the drones at the CTIP campus, that was amazing. Going in and seeing the air traffic control room where they're learning how to do air traffic control. It was really impressive. You can see every airport there possibly is, which these people are really, we are so fortunate in our community to have Yavapai College and this vocational technical career training program. And here's a little piece of trivia that I didn't know, but I'm going to give some kudos to City Daniels because she was on the original group that helped put together and form the C10 program. And she was telling us a little bit about it, so I would encourage you all to come talk to Cindy and find out what she did, because without her and that whole group, I think, well, let me just put it this way, they are such a valuable addition to our education community, so.
And the thing that I thought was probably one of the most fun things you guys learned on the tour today is that the unmanned aircraft systems, the UAS program that commonly known as drones, is taught by a CVHS graduate.
Oh, there you go.
So, which is pretty, Spencer Coffin teaches the unmanned aircraft system program for the college. So super cool as well. So I appreciate everyone who go along on the tour. This Wednesday night is the Spanish speaking tour. So parents of children who are Spanish speaking can hear about all of the programs in their heart language to learn about all the stuff that CVHS has to offer. And anytime anybody wants a tour, Institute said they'd be happy to arrange it for us, even if it's one-on-one, and so everybody can get a chance to see it. So does anybody have any questions about the things in the superintendent report?
All right, moving along, financial reports, John Livingston.
Man, that was fast.
Well, this is just your report. It's not the thing yet.
All right, well, Madam Vice President, members of the board, a quick look at our report for the end of February 2025. Expenditures in our operating fund, 12.5 million. Our budget of 19.4 million. Expenditures in our capital account, 564,000. Budget of 1.1 million. And we've really been watching that. We've probably had 40 meetings since school started back in July with all the folks that can spend, all the sites, all the principals, all the directors. Last year we spent over 2.4 million in our capital fund. This year we spent 564,000 in our capital fund. We might have another 80 to 90,000 to go, but we can move dollars if we need to from that fund back to our operating fund if, again, we really need to. So we've really watched that this year, and we're less than 30% spent what we did last year. And we don't have any big plans to open more POs there. And in addition to that fund, our capital fund, we've been able to bring in the revenue report, 7.8 million since July 1st in our 691 fund to keep our facilities upgraded. And I believe there's a purchase order for Del Rio School and a purchase order for Heritage Middle School that if each, we spent on each of those so far $800,000 for our weatherization on top, our roof rehabilitation, and over 5 million per school for our HVAC systems, and there's $10,000 left on each of those purchase orders for just wrap up and close out. And we're really close to having those completely done, and I think all the systems are up and running. And we're more than 50%, I believe, installed. Could you correct me, Chris, for sure? More than 50% installed at Territorial and the high school at this point for HVAC systems? Ballpark?
A little more than that.
A little bit more than that.
Yeah, we're about 65, 70%.
So we've got
we're on the down slope.
Great. I see invoices. I don't see all the units going on the roof and everything that happens with that. But so they've been here since those companies, Progressive Roofing and Pueblo Mechanical, since about June of 24. So going on 10 months. We see a lot of them here, and they actually have a permanent place for their representatives out here, the architect and Pueblo as well, just north of our campus here. So we've got tremendous support from these two contractors and several others. And again, year-to-date expense and revenue, 7.8 million. That actually coincides with our $7.7 million in ending cash, all funds for the month end of February. Any questions?
I have a question. So you just talked about the 2.4 that we were at last year and then the 1,000 this year. What's the difference? How come that's a huge difference?
We did buy some textbooks. We did buy, I can give you a list.
No, I don't know.
Andy, we've been tightening our belts,
That's right, transportation vehicles. Yeah, we picked up last year. I might need a little help. I could look it up all of our purchase orders here. But,
We've been sucking it in.
Yeah.
and that also includes some transfers back to our operating fund that weren't pure expenses, but I can give you a summary. I can also tell you two things right off the top. 138,000 of that last year, and that included 138,000 this year, went to pay our debt service on our many houses. 93,000 went to pay our debt service on our track over here by the high school. So right there's 230,000 right there. And then we have a lot of software leases. Larry might be able to tell me. I bet our software, which mostly comes for our operating costs and our annual renewals, is over 300,000 for all of our software.
Combined, yeah.
If you look at our financial and our attendance software, and our HR software, and our student software. So that's what I know. That's what I see. Probably closer to 400,000.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you. Thank you. Back to you in a little bit. All right. Next is our consent agenda. And before I make this approval, does anybody have anything they want removed for further discussion in the consent agenda? So this is an action item, and I will ask for
I will approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, all in favor?
I'll second that.
Oh, I didn't ask for a second. Okay. Second, favor, everyone. All right. Moving along. Okay, now we'll go back to the business and finance. John Livingston, this is back to you.
Okay, well, we got some good news. Business and finance for approval for action items. First one is a revenue budget. This is not required by the Department of Education. It's not required by the Auditor General. It's a suggestion from our auditors. And when the auditors put together reports, especially on our federal funds and state funds and on our major funds in the district, it's helpful to them to see a budget that the board has approved, because you don't really get a chance to approve revenue budgets, but they like it. And I've had a couple of conversations, and I thought it would be a good idea to just do that. The revenue budget is towards the back, towards the large legal document there. I guess it's XB, it is in your section 10.
10A.
And it is, yeah, it's actually 10A, the revenue budget, thank you. So you see a couple pages there, there's a page 1, that's got our operating budget, our capital budget, and actually, they're different than what you're used to seeing, like our operating budget expense is 19.4 million right now. You see a total there, 18,970,000 for our operating budget. That's budgeted revenues, including carry forward from the prior year. So it's basically every penny. And you say, well, how could we have a revenue budget of 18.9 and an operating expense budget of 19.4? Well, part of this revenue budget is going to be connected to our expenditure budget. I would hope you would just approve the revenue budget. It's an estimate, and it's the best numbers that we had back in July. It's the best numbers that we have now, and it's something I think we should do. And it makes for a little bit more accurate, and a little bit more, I guess, perspective identified audits. Because if you have a revenue budget of 10 million and you spend 12, there's questions. If you have a revenue budget of 12 million and you only spend 10, auditors want to compare against the target, just like our targets here. And if you don't have a target, we have targets, I have targets. Superintendent Daniels knows we have targets. But the auditors would like to know those targets too. And then if we have- Last year, we had $1 million increase in instruction. And that took a little time to just outline where we went to that $1 million increase from the year to the 24 year. It was all budgeted. It didn't take long, but it just showed our auditors what we're up to. So it's a disclosure item, and I would appreciate if you approve that. Then we can move on to the expense budget, which are all.
Okay, any questions? All right, this is an action item. I will ask for.
I will approve the revenue budget for the 24-25 school.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to you again. So,
Great, thank you. So this is our third planned revision of our expenditure budget. And that's, again, an estimate of what we believe we will spend throughout the course of the year. But in addition to that, if you go right in front of it, that's the large legal papers right after that little one you looked at for the revenue. It's, there's a report there dated in the lower left corner, February 20th. And this is a report from the state. So even though it's called an expenditure budget, they really do track our revenues for us too, because you can't have an expenditure really significantly different than your revenues. So if you see that page one, it's right here after 10B. And you look down here, you see 154,000, that line item right there. That's a combination of two new things, and this is good news for our budget. It is for our operating budget, 19,440,000. We get to add that 154,470 for two reasons. The state sees that the 1,300 students that we have on free and reduced lunch in the district generate an extra cost for the district. So they're giving us a factor of about 0.21. So that 1,325 students times that factor equals about 24 more students. Those students generate $98,000, and they've never done that before. They said, you have these other costs to me, we'll give you $98,000 to do it. That's the report that gives me the authority, it gives us the authority to add it to our budget. And you see that positive number out there to the right, that means they have a higher number than we do, which is 0. So ours is 0, and this is the first year they've done it, but I try to be really careful when I actually see it on the state issue document. Then we add it to the 19.4 million, and it becomes 19,590,000. So that's good news for the district. They also gave us a one-time allocation of 55,000 for additional capital. We can combine them both. If you see the asterisk there, the description of these extra funds is FRPL, free and reduced program lunches, and district additional assistance, which means capital, fiscal year 25 supplemental funding. So I could leave it at a 0, and they would always have 154,000 allocated for the district. I don't want to push it in, and then we have till May 15th. We have the May 12th meeting, is that Monday in May. At the May 12th meeting, there may be some significant changes, and there may be some other funds we can capture. And that's when they line up the students from last, well, a couple Tuesdays ago, February 25th was our 100th day. And that's the day they take the final count for the district. But to document those students is called make integrity. So if there's 3 students there that might have had some excess absences or weren't completely documented correctly, our student count could drop. But if we picked up a few more, again, before that 100th day, they might bump that. So I may be coming back to you in the May 12th meeting, but I like to have zeros all the way across the end. That means we've budgeted exactly what they allow us to, and then we can live with that.
awesome. Well, like I said before, I'm glad you're on our team.
Thank you.
All right, this is an action item.
Approval of a second revision of the 24-25 expenditure budget. Final FY25 budget will not be determined until April 10th, 2025. By Arizona Department of Ed to finalize student counts.
Okay, in a second.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, moving along to our personnel report. With supplemental.
So Vice President Mortensen, we're actually going to, now since we've switched the agenda around, we're going back to 8A. Now, which is kind of the new whatever numbering system we changed around.
So we are going to the personnel report?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I will be presenting this evening with your permission, since Assistant Superintendent will was unable to join us this evening.
Absolutely.
So first up, the original 8A. District staff is recommending the approval of the salary placement schedule for the 1.0 FTE CVHS athletic director position. Last month at the board meeting, you approved the full-time AD position, but we did not bring you a placement schedule at that time. So just as a reminder, the switch to a full-time AD was a revenue neutral move for the district because we eliminated a full-time athletic secretary position, which made up for the balance of the AD contract. So on the page following the agenda item, you will see the recommended salary placement schedule. And this is a full-time position. It is a 12-month position. So it's working 2080, 2090 hours a year, depending on the whole leap year thing. And you can see what the base placement would be. This is not a guaranteed move. This is not a salary schedule. This is a placement schedule. So we use the years of experience and the degree level of the applicant to determine where they would begin, but they're not guaranteed any kind of moves through that schedule. This is just for initial placement. It mirrors our middle school assistant principal placement schedule. And the reason for that is the high school AD does not have any administrative responsibility. This is a standalone position just for athletics. This person does not evaluate staff other than coaching staff. So we feel that this is a fair salary schedule. And to that end, we've had around 30 applicants for the job.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if
So
you had any.
they have, I spoke to Mr. Prada, who is our administrator who oversees athletics today. They have it winnowed down right now, they believe, to 3 who they would like to interview. On March 27th, and before that, there will be a call going out. During the evening, we'll have open hours for the public to come in and meet the AD candidates and offer feedback to the selection committee, because CVHS recognizes that the high school athletic director position is very public facing and does interface with lots of different members of our community, interfaces with lots of different parents. So we're going to send that call out across the district and get it on our Marquee and website to encourage people to come and offer input, because so many community members do interact. Most of our coaches are community members, not full-time staff members. So this is the placement schedule for that. And so I would ask for your approval of the placement schedule.
I think that this is much needed in our district.
Oh,
So I'm
yes.
really excited about us getting a full-time.
I agree.
AD.
I agree, because every sport needs to have an overseer, so I.
Okay, this is an action item.
I would like to approve the salary placement schedule for the 12-month athletic director position at Chino Valley High School.
In a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Daniels, back to you.
Okay, so every year we receive rates from our insurance company, our health insurance provider, who provides for our employee health insurance. This year, nationwide, health insurance premiums are going up significantly. And how health insurance premiums work, it's on a 3-year rolling average, and they compare what we contribute for our premiums to how much we bill in claims. And that helps determine what our rates will be for the coming year. Nationwide, rates are increasing between 20 and 30% for personal health insurance premiums. And one of the things, our district, our 3-year average loss ratio, that's how much the claims were against the premiums, was 107%. So our 3-year rolling average, they like us to stay between 80 and 84, kind of bank, some money against future losses. Last year was a particularly high year. We had about 150% loss ratio, but our 3-year average really helped us out. what I would like you to know is, the proposal that is before you this evening is from our current provider, and our manager for our health insurance is called A.R.S. And our health insurance that is available to employees is called United Healthcare, UMR. Because of the increase in rates, it was a significant increase in rates. You can see here, it was about 18% when all was said and done. We actually have a broker who can also shop for us for other rates. So we met with the broker last Thursday and instructed the broker to seek rates from other companies on our behalf. And one company refused to bid because of our loss ratio. Another one was a rate increase far higher than A.R.S. We had one company come in with a lower increase, but they could not guarantee the rate, and the insurance coverage for employees would have been abysmal. And so I have decided to go forward with a recommendation to you about our insurance with a few other pieces of information. As we've been talking about through the course of the school year about our enrollment and the need to cut money from our budget, you've been very wise and have eliminated some positions due to attrition to help save money in our budget. When we saw the rate increase, and district staff, administrative staff, and director staff, you heard from Ms. Wolf last month, had done a very, very good job cutting costs. You heard that from Mr. Livingston tonight, especially in our capital accounts. We were able to reduce projected spending on personnel-related items by $1.1 million. We knew when we did that, we're hedging against potential, continued loss of students. We know Yavapai County has the lowest rate of birth to age 18 in the state of Arizona, and that population continues to diminish in our county. So we knew because of that, we would probably be continuing to face some enrollment decline. We knew that we needed to, in order to face a 10% student enrollment decline, we would need to cut $982,000 from the budget. We were able to cut $1.1 million with the idea that that would enable us to provide raises, and then we got our health insurance rates. So we looked at a couple of things. We have been offering our employees as the basic plan, the HDHP 2500, which is a $2,500 deductible. If we continue to offer that, our rates would go up almost $500,000, which killed our capacity to give a raise. So instead, we went back to our provider. We took a hard look at and asked, is there something between an HDHP 2500 and an HDHP 5000 that we can give our employees? Nothing currently exists in our group, like our large group of multiple employers, that would enable us to do that. So we sat down, we took a pretty hard look at where we were financially, and we figured out that if we made the basic plan for everybody an HDHP 5000, and we have the money, we do, to contribute to their HSA. So what we're proposing as our plan for next year for our employee health insurance is that the basic plan offered is the HDHP 5000. They can buy down to the 2500, or they can still do the PPO. But we are going to put $1,250 in each employee who takes our insurance. We'll put $1,250 in their HSA for them to help cut the distance between the increase in the deductible by half. The other thing that we're going to do, and Catherine Werner, who is our district RN and the chairman of our district wellness committee, has been bugging me about this for years, and this was the year. We are going to offer some wellness incentives for our employees. So we'll have a list. We have an employee group working on a list. We've already received a list from A.R.S. to help. Employees could choose up to 2 items from that list. Could be like an annual physical, a mammogram, like glucose screenings, things like that. For each of those 2 activities they choose, we'll put another $250 in their HSA. So they can earn up to $500, kind of in wellness bucks, if we want to call them that. and they'll receive $1,250 from the district to put. So all told, if somebody uses their insurance to the fullest, their deductible is only going up $750. And there is no coverage difference between the 5,000 and the 2,500. This year in your packet, you'll see the I.R.S. has raised some of the thresholds for contributions. The insurance company raised some of the maximum out of pocket a little bit. For example, Teladoc will no longer be free. I.R.S. says we have to charge for Teladocs. I think it's like $20 or $50 or something like that. So there were some changes at the federal level. Those are reflected in the plan. So what we did was we worked and worked on this, trying to figure it out, like how could we maximize it for employees? Because health insurance is a very valuable reason why a lot of people come to work. And so what I did was we put together a presentation. Mr. Livingston and myself and Ms. Wolf contributed. We put together a presentation, and then last Tuesday, Mr. Livingston and I took the show on the road, and we started at 6:45 in the morning, and we presented to every employee group in the district. So we presented to Del Rio and Heritage staff before school that day. We presented to district office staff. We presented to facilities maintenance, custodial, transportation. We presented at territorial, and we presented at CVHS. We took employee feedback during the meetings, and we strongly encouraged employees to email us with questions or concerns or additional ideas. I received no email, HR received none, and Mr. Livingston received none. So the questions that we fielded were more about things like, what's the maximum HSA contribution? Can people still contribute on their own? Yes. And what do we know exactly what all the wellness activities will be? Can my hiking club count? We're like, okay, things like that, please bring back through your superintendent advisory committee group. And so I would tell you, there was quite a bit of interest in the wellness activities. And we want to emphasize that because employees that focus on wellness are less likely to use health insurance later. So we're trying to be a little bit proactive. So the plan that you have in front of you tonight is the one that we would offer the HDHP 5,000 as the basic plan, that we would provide the $1,250 to the HSA for every employee who participates in our plan. We cannot do that for people that take the PPO. That's not allowable by law, but if they do the 25 or 5,000, we can. And they can earn up to $500 more with the wellness activities. So that's the proposal that we have for you this evening. That's just the exact proposal that was rolled out to the employee group. We solicited feedback from them. We asked our broker to seek additional. And just so you know, when the broker came back with an increase that was less than what Kairos was projecting, this may not be Kairos's final offer to us. This would be the maximum that we would have to pay because they know we're shopping. We're hoping that they'll come back with something a little lower. Our broker was, the insurance that the broker was able to put forward to us with a lower increase was Aetna, which has very, very few providers in this area. So we did not feel like that was fair to our employees to not have access to doctors in this area. So what you see before you is something that we feel is fair, it's equitable, and going this route enables us also to make recommendations in a later board agenda item for some compensation increases. So I'll entertain any questions you might have.
It says the maximum increase would be $750 for employees that for the year.
That is in their deductible. That's for the plan year.
So that would be $750 deductible.
They don't have to pay it. It's their deductible increases by $750 if they participate in the wellness activities.
Is that like for surgery or something?
It could be anything, doctor visits, whatever you use your insurance for. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
I do. I have a question. You're still shopping, right? To see if you can
No, we're
No,
done. That's
you're
the,
done.
yeah, we're done shopping. That is absolutely the, our broker shops, every group out there. One refused to respond because of our claims.
So this is the final thing.
This is the final recommendation. Kairos may come back with a number that's slightly lower. We don't know that, but this is our final recommendation.
If they do come back with something lower, is that going to come back to the board for us to review this?
No,
Can we
this
wait, or-
is just the maximum. We can't wait because, so we have to, when we issue work agreements to employees on March 15th, we have to provide a cover sheet that by law states what their total compensation is, and that includes health insurance.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We do this every year. right?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's actually pretty creative. way to-
We tried.
So, maybe next year we won't have as many claims.
Believe me, everybody in this room's hoping, because it's a 3-year average. So even if we have a normal claim year, our rates could still go up because we're carrying a year that was very, very high.
Okay, this is an action item. I'd like to approve the 2025-26 employee benefits plan as presented.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, back to you, Ms. Daniels.
Okay, our next one is something that we realized we failed to do sometime last spring. We've been doing it in practice because it was mentioned in a board agenda item, but we never had you vote on it to publish it. So this is a request to publish the base salary portion from M&O for certified employees. So this doesn't include the $16,500 that comes from Classroom Site Fund. So if you turn your agenda item over, this is the certified entry schedule, M&O portion only, and you'll see a note on the bottom that this is for certified staff, so teaching staff, things like that. So when you see the base number, the 37.6, that's the M&O portion. And the classroom site fund portion is 16,500. It's what we've been doing in our contracts. We just never approved it for publication. So that's what we're asking for you for tonight. So our teacher entry level pay this year has been 53.5. It's just we have to specify what comes from M&O and what comes from classroom site fund. Emphasize again, our teacher base pay, entry level, just out of college is 53.5.
Any questions? This also is an action item.
I would like to approve the 2020 to 2025, or is it 2025? The classified wage increase beginning July 1st, 2025.
Actually, this is not the wage increase, this is the placement schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up.
It's okay.
That's okay. Approve the 2025, 2026 certified placement salary schedule as presented.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving along, Ms. Daniels.
Okay, so the next one is the classified staff wage increase for the 25-26 school year. So staff is recommending, it's classified staff, we're recommending a wage increase of 50 cents an hour plus 1%. So our classified staff, this would be, secretaries, paraprofessionals, things like that, with the caveat that we're recommending a wage increase of $1 an hour for all personnel who are certified to drive a school bus with children as passengers. This will increase the cost for the district of $25,947. The 50 cents an hour plus 1% is $123,136. You can see the district impact to M&O is $149,083.88. And the impact to grants, because we have several staff who are paid from grants, is $29,225.01. This classified increase begins July 1. And I'd like to differentiate, we've We are working hard on making sure that we're increasing our classified wages because we want to stay number one in front of minimum wage. And the 1% helps our classified staff who are definitely getting closer to the retirement end. What we know is, for example, we're in competition with Safeway, McDonald's, places like that. Even though our wages are similar, remember 12.5% of every employee's wage goes to state retirement. That's the law. And so when they work at Safeway or McDonald's for the same dollar amount per hour, they don't lose 12.5% to state retirement. And so we need to stay in front of it and stay competitive. The reason for the difference with the drivers, remember our drivers aren't full-time employees. Most of them are about half-time, but they do receive health insurance. But what we did an analysis on average driver wage for other districts in our area, and the average driver wage in other districts is $19 an hour. Ours was riding at about $18.75. I don't want to lose drivers to neighboring districts when drivers are hard to get and keep for something like $500 a year. So we're recommending that we bump the driver pay. That's people who can drive kids in buses. And I want to distinguish there because like we have some mechanics, for example, that can drive the buses to like take them out and test the work they've done and stuff, but they don't have the kind of license that allows them to drive kids around. So they're a typical classified employee compared to someone who can actually drive children.
You're talking about like with the CDL license?
CDL with additional certifications on it. Yep.
Any further questions? No, I'm just glad that to have our drivers make a decent wage. And if they're going to another school district and they live in Chino, they're driving back and forth anyway, so they're gonna lose that 25 cents an hour. So, but anyway, I just wanted to say I'm really happy we can do that.
You want me to make the motion?
Yes, please.
Okay, I motion to approve the 2025, 2026 classified hourly rate increases.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving along, Ms. Daniel.
Okay, the next is contract renewals for certified staff and therapists. The district is recommending approval of certified staff renewals for the 25-26 school year. Behind this are all the names of the employees and their wages for you to see their contract amounts. Staff is recommending an increase of $2,500 for all classroom site fund eligible employees, and that's certified staff and therapists. $1,500 is a permanent disbursement, and $1,000 is a disbursement for this year only. It'll be reevaluated next year. Together, this is a $2,500 raise to be paid out in biweekly checks. This will increase the distribution from classroom site fund from $16,500 a year to $19,000 per year. The total cost to classroom site fund, including all employee-related expenses, employer-related like the FICA, Medi, our contribution to state retirement, is $353,902.48 increase to our classroom site fund. And if we have a motion on this, I would request that we pay attention to the action requested because the date is required by state statute.
Okay, I have a question. I'm not sure how to really word it. All the therapists, let me see that.
So yeah, it's like speech therapist, yes.
Okay, but that's not like counseling or anything that lines up with SEL.
So our therapists, our counseling, our guidance counselors at the high school who help students like pick their courses. And we do have 2 grant-funded school counselors, one at Heritage Middle School and one at Territorial.
Okay, so when we get a grant employee, then it turns into, are any of these that were grant employees that now turned in, the grant's gone?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And in this, when it says action requested, we're approving to implement that 2026, correct?
Yes, yep, sorry. Yep, you're right. Good catch on my typo there. Yes, 25-26 contracts. So it includes the $2,500 disbursement from classroom site funds. In your packet, immediately following the agenda item, are the personnel who are funded from grants. The next pages after that are all the personnel funded from M&O and classroom site fund both.
All right, so does anybody have any questions on this one? And this is an action item. Yes, we can approve it, please.
Motion to approve the 25-26 certified contract renewals for certified staff eligible from classroom site fund with the contracts to be issued on March 15th.
And a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Daniels.
Okay, our next recommendation is for administrative and director staff. And the reason that this is on a different agenda item is because they cannot be paid from classroom site fund. State statute stipulates that their funding needs to come from other sources than classroom site fund. So district staff is recommending approval of administrative and classified director supervisor contracts for the 25-26 school year. Again, down below, it should say 26. The salary amounts include a 3.5% increase. The total cost to the district for the increase for all positions is $52,248. 8 administrators and 3 directors continue to receive a $6,000 insurance stipend that was established by the board 16 years ago. And the network administrator and district nurse do not receive the additional insurance benefits included in their pay, and also with the most recent administrative hires. The total increase is $1,909.18. And once again, the contract renewal list just follows the agenda item for you.
Okay, any questions? This is also an action item.
So motion to approve the 25, is it 26?
Yes, ma'am.
Administrative and director contract renewal list.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Okay, Ms. Daniels again.
I miss Heidi. I'm just gonna say that right
We all
now.
do.
So with the personnel report, you also have the supplement on your table. And so on adding together, if we do my math here real quick, there will be 6 new certified employees with the supplement. 1 more, so 3 new classified. We have 2 more resignations and retirements. So altogether, we have a classified sub, we have 10 resignations, and we have a certified change and 7 classified changes, 6 extra duty, and 188 timesheets.
Oh my goodness. Okay, any questions? This too is an action item.
I motion to approve the personnel report and supplement.
In a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and moving on to our CVH course description curriculum, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Crawford.
Hi, Madam Vice President, member of the board. I'll just kind of give you a brief flyover for the course descriptions. There were a lot of adjustments, things that were outdated that we've updated. So in the agenda item, we'll start with, we removed cybersecurity from our on-campus options in partnership with CTED. So we removed that from the course descriptions. And there were some other additions like water management and equine in our agricultural sequence. So as a 3rd year, that may become an option for our students. And at the end of the sequence, they'll be awarded a certificate from Yavapai College. And then within our special there were some changes, some clarification if you want to go into detail. The color coding, red is we completely removed, yellow is either an update or something brand new. So sometimes within the course descriptions, you'll see a 1 or 2 word change, or sometimes a brand new course description, depending on the nature of it. And you'll see that as you go throughout. In our special ed department, we clarified the math course descriptions and sequenced them based on our curricular outcomes. So you'll see math concepts, which is fundamental math facts, goes to pre-algebra, then to algebra A. Algebra B is new for us. Algebra A and B basically takes 1 full year of algebra 1 and breaks it down. So a semester of Algebra 1 becomes an entire year for Algebra A. And then Algebra B is the second semester of algebra. And then in English, placement scores were updated as a prerequisite for AJEC, which is our dual enroll program. And in social studies, course descriptions were updated to reflect the removal of Honors Academy requirements. That's only in effect for our current sophomore, junior, and senior. So after that, Honors Academy will no longer be a provided option. We now have an honors diploma. So we wanted to open up more options for students to take honors classes. And they could cherry pick if they want, whereas if they were in the Honors Academy, they had to take certain classes. But we realized that some kids who want to be challenged or sometimes need to be challenged don't need to just apply to the academy. We can recommend them to take certain classes. And then some additional certifications are added, like I had said, to our CTE department. We updated our leadership class course description. So at the last board meeting, we had a parent come and express some concerns, and it was necessary for us to update what the requirements were going to be for student council / leadership class. So we updated that. And then with the elimination of Honors Academy, we removed some of those prerequisites to now align with our diploma requirements. So we have 3 diplomas. You have your standard, so our basic state standard requirements. Then you have the vocational one, so it's more career and college readiness, where it emphasizes more in the CTE category. So we would ask that kids, if they want to take 2 or more programs, that's more of the pipeline. They still have to do everything else, but this is above and beyond normal requirements. And the honors diploma is highly focused on academics with Yavapai College, concurrent, and then dual enrollment programs on campus. Any questions for me?
No, I think that it's really great that you guys are looking more into this. And then I also appreciate you guys looking into the leadership class course and changing that. That goes to show that we are listening, and I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Any questions?
No, I just think you've done an awesome job. Especially when you have parents, complaining or saying, when you're listening and you're making changes to please the people in the community. So
we don't always get it right. So we got to own it and move on. And I have a really good team. Like, I know I'm the one that's presenting, but this took my counselors, my admin, secretary, and my teachers, department chairs. So they make me look good.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Crawford. You're welcome. And this also is an action item.
I motion to approve the approval of the 25-26 course instructions.
And the second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Good job, Miss Annie.
Meeting adjourned.
It was all kids. It was so awesome.